All right, and welcome everyone to another episode of the In the Hot Seat podcast. And in this episode is all about WWE for the Royal Rumble, which actually is over and done with. And going to get right down into everything that happened on the main card. There was no kickoff matches for this episode for the Royal Rumble. I'm going to get right down into it, and we're going to get into with the Women's Royal Rumble, which actually kicked things off and which was actually really exciting. We had some surprises, definitely for sure. We had Naomi actually returning to WWE, which is awesome to see her come back. And I'm not too sure if this is a one-time thing for her or not, but I hope that she is definitely back full-time. We also have, which I still cannot believe, Jordan Grace actually being able to make her WWE debut and as the TNA Knockouts World Champion, which was awesome. I still can't get over how awesome that was. Being able to see her go at it, especially with the likes of Ivy Nile and Bianca Belair, which is really awesome there. She had a really strong showing and being able to showcase what she does best. Of course, it looks like it to be a one-time deal, but I'm happy that she was able to work with Naomi as well to continue her feud, basically. So that was really cool. She had everything kept the same, entrance music and everything, which is really dope and badass to be able to see that. So that was definitely one of my highlights of the Women's Royal Rumble. We had Roxanne Perez coming back as well. We had Jade Cargill making her debut as well, which is really dope to see her showcase her stuff. And she lasted up until the final four, which is awesome. I do believe so. She didn't last a very long time up until that point. We had Tiffany Stratton also showing up and Liv Morgan actually returning. So that's it when it comes to basically surprises. And in the end, we had Bayley winning the Women's Royal Rumble, which is cool. So almost every four horsewoman as of right now are looking to have won the Royal Rumble. So that's going to be interesting to see who she will be able to pick between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. There's that. And then we get into the Universal Championship match where we had Roman Reigns, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton in the Fatal 4-Way match. This one was definitely an interesting matchup to say the least. And we had Roman Reigns finding a way to be able to retain the championship. So there was that. We had the United States Championship on the line, Logan Paul and Kevin Owens going fine up until when we had the use of the breast knucks involved there, basically by Kevin Owens. And then we had the DQ on top of that, so I was unfortunate we had to see that part. But these two will definitely continue things. I'm very certain about that. And then we get into the Men's Royal Rumble, the main event, where we had a couple of surprises here in their own right. We had Andrade actually showing up and returning. I'm sure that's a full-time thing for him now. So that's really cool to be able to see him come back. We had Von Breakker show up and Pat McAfee actually getting into the ring for a little bit until he saw Omos and dealing with some nerves there, basically getting himself, eliminating himself in the process. In the end, where we had Cody Rhodes actually winning the Men's Royal Rumble, so winning it for the second time, which is very interesting. So we'll see on who he'll face between Seth Rollins and as well Roman Reigns. It looks like he definitely wants to face Roman Reigns and continue that feud going forward. So that should be something to look forward to. And then hopefully have Cody Rhodes finish his story. So that's it when it comes to the Royal Rumble and everything else in between. Those are my thoughts. What are your own thoughts on the Royal Rumble? What happened with the surprises and everything else that did happen? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments section if you're watching on the YouTube version of the In the Hot Seat podcast. Definitely check out the link tree as always for all the other links as always for your support. Definitely leave a like and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to actually be able to stay notified for it in the Hot Seat podcast. So definitely check that out as well. And that about does it for this episode of the In the Hot Seat podcast. I want to Thank everyone for your support as always, and with your host Daphne Rivera, and being able to have another episode for this week. Until then, I'll catch everyone next time for another episode of the In the Hot Seat podcast.